NFL free agency has been pretty damn awesome so far for the Minnesota Vikings, except for the offensive line. You got earth-moving Dalvin Tomlinson in the middle of the Vikings defensive line. You got ball hawk Patrick Peterson, still has got some good ball left in him, as well as Nick Candlelight Vigil, potentially could challenge Troy Dye for that third linebacker spot. You love it. Vikings have inked up 3 starters and or contributors. But now it's time to focus on the draft, not this version of the draft, specifically 2022, and how this version of free agency affects the compensatory picks. Now, for reference, we did a video a couple weeks ago about how compensatory picks work, and blah, blah. You'll find the link popping up somewhere. Basically, the Vikings have put a premium on getting comp picks over the last 5 years. Each of them, they had landed one. But basically, you net lose more expiring free agents than you sign. But as it stands right now, the Vikings are in line to likely break that 5-year streak of comp picks in 2022, because counting in the formula is Dalvin Tomlinson, Peterson, and Nick Vigil, and the Vikings expiring deals so far, only Anthony Harris has signed up anywhere, and that was for marginal money, 1 year, $5 million with the Eagles. Eric Wilson, Todd Davis, Julio Johnson still hanging out there, so the Vikings do have a slight shot since the cancellation formula. Dalvin Tomlinson would net off potentially against Wilson and Harris if Wilson gets some decent money. So maybe. Also remember, compensatory pick window closes on Monday after the draft. So this year it's May 2nd at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So any player that you signed who had an expired contract does not count in the next year's formula. Ipso facto, any player that you had with an expiring contract, and the Vikings example would be Wilson, Davis, Julio Johnson, does not count in the formula either. So no joy there. Plus, for illustration, we include the dudes whose contracts do not count in the formula, just so you aren't left wondering, does that guy count? Nah. So the Vikings re-signing Chad Beebe, even though since they didn't tender him, they effectively cut him, so they brought him aboard. He does not count. Stephen Weatherly was let go by the Panthers, so he doesn't count in the formula either. Plus Rashad Hill re-signing, obviously that does not count. Dudes who left who did not count. So Rudy and Riley Reef and Dan Bailey, if he does trick some team into giving him some money, they don't count because they were cut. But a gray area is the restricted free agents who were tendered, Fadio Denebo as well as Mike Boone, signing with the Giants and Broncos respectively. Now, they do not count in the formula because they treat a declined RFA tender as a player who was cut, so nothing there either. But comp picks, like I said, are fun. It is nice to get an extra 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever, but it's not the be-all, end-all, and the Vikings went all in on free agency this year because they do feel 2021, they're going to compete. They're just they're on the threshold. They're not even on the doorstep. They're on the threshold. They're taking a step forward, going to get into the promised land, and this team is by far better than it was 8 days ago. So if that costs us a couple of comp picks in 2022, whatever. Damn the torpedoes, all in. Let's hit the draft hard and then roll into 2021 and hoist a dozen Jerome Bardys for the next 10 years. Let's go. Let's do it. Be your thoughts. 2022 comp picks update. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post some in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull, production value.